Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff. I'm back. It's been about a week since we've done our daily lectionaries. With me being on vacation, I did not preload them up, and I apologize for that. But it is Thursday, August 24th, 2023. We are looking ahead to what's going to be at church on Sunday. Our psalm reading comes from Psalm 138. Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel 28, 11 through 19, and our New Testament reading comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 1 through 11. Let us listen in as I click off to the next page. Psalm 138, the Message. Thank you. Everything in me says thank you. Angels listen as I sing my thanks. I kneel and worship facing your holy temple and say it again. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your faithfulness. Most holy is your name. Most holy is your word. The moment I called out, you stepped in. You made my life large with strength. When they hear what you have to say, God, all earth kings will say, thank you. They'll sing of what you have done, how great the glory of God. And here's why. God, high above, sees far below. No matter the distance, he knows everything about us. When I walk into the thick of trouble, keep me alive in the angry turmoil. With one hand, strike my foes. With the other hand, save me. Finish what you started in me, God. Your love is eternal. Don't quit on me now. Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, verses 11 through 19. Therefore, God, the Master says, because you're acting like a God, pretending to be a God, I'm giving fair warning. I'm bringing strangers down on you, the most vicious of all nations. They'll pull the swords and make hash of your reputation for knowing it all. They'll puncture the balloon of your God pretensions. They'll bring down your self-made pedestals and bury you in the deep blue sea. Will you protest to your assassins? You can't do that. I'm a God. To tell them you're a mere mortal. They're killing a man, not a God. You'll die like a stray dog, killed by strangers, because I said so. Decree of God, the Master. God's message came to me. Son of a man, raise a funeral song over the king of Tyre. Tell him, a message from God, the Master. You had everything going for you. You were in Eden, God's garden. You were dressed in splendor, your robe studded with jewels. Carnelian, peridot, and moonstone, beryl, oxen, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald, all in settings of engraved gold. A robe was prepared for you the same day that you were created. You were the anointed cherubim. I placed you on the mountain of God. You strolled in magnificence among the stones of fire. From the day of your creation, you were sheer perfection, and then imperfection. Evil was detected in you. In much buying and selling, you turned violent. You sinned. I threw you, disgraced, off the mountain of God. I threw you out, you, the anointed, angel cherub. No more strolling among the gems of the fire for you. Your beauty went to your head. You corrupted wisdom by using it to get worldly fame. I threw you to the ground, sent you sprawling before an audience of kings, and let them gloat over your demise. By sin after sin after sin, by the corrupt ways of doing business, you defiled your holy place of worship. So I set a fire around you, and within you. It burned you up. I reduced you to ashes. All anyone sees now when they look at you is ashes, a pitiful mound of ashes. All who once knew you now throw up their hands. This can't have happened. This has happened. Our New Testament reading, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 1 through 11. And how dare you take each other to court when you think you have been wrong? Does it make sense to go before a court that knows nothing of God's way instead of a family of Christians? The day is coming when the world is going to stand before a jury made up of followers of Jesus. If someday you are going to rule on the world's fate, wouldn't it be a good idea to practice on some of these smaller cases? Why, we're even going to judge angels. So why not these everyday affairs? As these disagreements and wrongdoings surface, why would you ever entrust them to the judgment of people you don't trust in any other way? I say this as bluntly as I can, to wake you up to the stupidity of what you're doing. Is it possible that there isn't one level-headed person among you who can make fair decisions when disagreements and disputes come up? I don't believe it. And here you are, taking each other to court before people who don't even believe in God. How can they render justice if they don't believe in the God of justice? These court cases are a black eye on your community. Wouldn't it be far better to just take it, to let yourself be wronged and forget it? All you are doing is providing fuel for more wrong, more injustice, bringing more hurt to the people of your own spiritual family. Don't you realize that this is not the way to live? Unjust people who don't care about God will not be joining in his kingdom. Those who use and abuse each other, use and abuse sex, use and abuse the earth and everything in it, don't qualify as citizens in God's kingdom. A number of you know from experience what I'm talking about, for not so long ago you were on that list. Since then, you've been cleaned up, given a fresh start by Jesus, our Master, our Messiah, and by our present in us, the Spirit. Here ends our readings for the day.